anti-Semitism, anti-Bolshevism, and the intention to conquer living space in the East, and thus the predominance of the Nazi state based on racial arguments. The German Reich consistently worked to do away with the Versailles peace framework. This meant raising a strong army, forging alliances with fascist regimes, and first territorial expansion, heading towards a war. With the Japanese attack on Pearl Harbor and Germany declaring war on the US, this finally became a world war.
Dear Sister Bear, I am visiting the memoriam for the Nurnburg trials. So I'm going to take some video for you, Sister Bear, since I know that this is one of your big interests in life. And hopefully you can gather along. Okay, see you soon.
The manhunters of the Sonderkommandos, or as the Jews called them, the Kapun, broke into the Jewish houses at any time of day or night, dragged away the men, instructing them to take a piece of soap and a towel, and herded them into certain buildings near the village of Ponari, about 8 kilometers from Vilna. From there, hardly one returned. Back to that, von Brauchitsch said what you have just heard, and Halder said the following. Special military affairs were the responsibility of those parts of the Wehrmacht, that is Army, Navy and Air Force, which were immediately under the supreme command of the Wehrmacht. That is to say, under the command of Hitler, who was at the same time the chief of the Reich.
Kriegsmarine und Luftwaffe. Ist das so?
Is that so? We received the orders about military measures from the High Command of the Wehrmacht. Such was the Directive number 21.
Wie zum Beispiel auch diese Weisung Nummer 21.
I thought that those people held responsibility who were the first military advisors of Hitler in the High Command of the Wehrmacht.
Im Oberkommando der Wehrmacht.
If you have seen Directive number 21, then you must also know who signed it.
Wer sie unterschrieben hat.
Who was that? As far as I can remember, that was signed by Hitler, and Keitel and Jodl initialed it.
Was heißt soweit mir erinnerlich? Aber jedenfalls.
But at any rate, signed by Hitler, like all directives. Is that correct? At any rate, most of the directives, unless they were signed by other people in his name.
Are you a Soviet citizen?
Da.
Yes.
Will you repeat after me? I mention your name.
Я, Sutskever Abram Gertsovich,
citizen of the Union of the Soviet Socialist Republics,
гражданин Союза Советских Социалистических Республик,
summoned as witness in this trial,
вызваны в качестве свидетеля по этому делу,
do promise and swear in the presence of the court
перед лицом этого суда отвечаю
to tell the court nothing but the
перед
truth,
лицом говорить суду только правда,
about everything I know in regard to this case.
И все, что мне известно по этому делу.
You must sit down if you wish.
Разрешите приступить к допросу, сэр?
Yes.
Please tell me, witness, where did the German occupation find you?
Где вас застала немецкая оккупация?
In the town of Vilna. You stayed in this town for a long time during the German occupation.
Длительное время.
I stayed there from the first to nearly the last day of the
С
occupation.
первого дня до почти последнего.
Вы
You witnessed the persecution of the Jews in that city?
евреев в этом городе.
Да.
Yes.
Я
I would
просил
like you
бы
to
вас
tell the court about
рассказать
this.
об этом суду.
Когда немцы захватили моего
When the
города
Germans
Вильну,
seized my city, Vilna,
тогда
about
было там
80,000 Jews
приблизительно
lived in the town.
80 тысяч евреев. Сейчас же
Immediately, the so-called Sonderkommando was set up at 12 Vilinskaya Street under the command of Schweichenberg and Martin Weiss.
с начальниками Швайненбергом и Мартином Вайсом. Ловцы, это же зондеркоманда. Или как евреи их называли
The
хапуны,
manhunters of the Sonderkommandos, or as the Jews called them, the Kapun, broke into the Jewish houses at any time of day or night, dragged away the men, instructing them to take a piece of soap and a towel, and herded them into certain buildings near the village of Ponari, about 8 kilometers from Vilna. From there, hardly one
сказали взять
returned.
с собой кусок мыла и полотенца и загнали их в направлении местечко Понары, 8 километров за городом Вильну, откуда почти никто не пришел обратно.